Hi, everyone. My name is Matt Ackerson. I'm the founder and CEO of AutoGrow.co, as you may already know. And in this video, we're talking about the 4 steps to having a successful pre-sale for your product, which doesn't exist yet, or maybe not in its full form. So why would you want to be pre-selling in the first place? What problem does that actually help you to solve? And, why not just wait until the product is done? So let's cover that first. So the problem that pre-selling actually can help you to solve is the fact that you're an entrepreneur, you're creating a new product, you're inventing something brand new. You don't know if it's going to work or not yet. You don't know if people are going to buy it. The thing that I love about pre-selling is that it's without it actually doing the work of creating the product, at least not in its full form, you're able to say, okay, this is exactly what it's going to be. You can kind of build it, like on the sales page where you're going to be pre-selling to people and say, okay, here's the offer. Do you want it? And give some sort of an incentive, obviously. Okay, it's going to be half the price or whatever the case is. So that's the problem it solves, is that it helps you to just validate the market, or that your audience, if you have an existing audience, that they actually want what you have to offer them. So that's the purpose of doing it. Now, a lot of things will run through your head, though, and a reason why I didn't do it for a while, or I did it kind of, but I did it off and on. I did it inconsistently. Like with my first business, I went out to these different fast casual restaurants in the city where I was living, and I signed up a bunch of them, for the product. And I basically, all that I had was like kind of like a mock-up of what it looked like, and I would just talk to the business owner and say, okay, it's going to solve this problem for you. It's going to do these different things, and we had sort of a relationship from a previous product that I'd sold to them. So a bunch of them got on board, and so I did it the first time, but then going forward in the years, I've been, AutoGrow, we just had our 10-year anniversary. I can't even believe it. A couple weeks ago. And in that time, I've launched 4 different productized services. I've launched 6 different info products and online trainings. And only for a small handful of those did I actually pre-sell. But for the ones more recently, which I actually did pre-sell, I was really, really happy that I did. Because number one, it kind of puts some positive stress on you to just get the product done. And you're also just excited. You're like, oh man, people want to pay me money for this thing that doesn't exist yet. And it's going to, though, once you actually create it. So it's exciting when you actually do it, but it can feel like scary. You could kind of like get in your mind about like, oh, like, is it like you might kind of feel like, oh, like, is this like people going to think I'm scamming them or something like, and the answer is no. Just push those thoughts from your mind, because, you're a sincere marketer. Like, you're actually going to create the product and deliver it to them. It's just going to be, within X timeline that you would tell them. You said, okay, the first version will be out by this date. And then you hold yourself accountable, to that date, to deliver for your customers, for your clients. So there you have it. That's the problem that it solves in a nutshell, and some of the reasons why you might be hesitating to even do it in the first place. So that being said, let's go over the 4 steps to having a successful pre-sale in the first place. Step number 1 is choose if you will be pre-selling a product or a service. Okay, because they're 2 different animals. They're 2 different things. Because for a product, you have to really think about, in terms of that timeline to actually deliver it. How long is it going to take you to deliver it? And then factor that into how you actually pitch to people what you say you're going to deliver, because it's going to take you a significant amount of time and labor to actually deliver on that thing. So for example, one of the products that I pre-sold was called the Proven Sales Conversion Pack, and we still sell this product on our website to this day. It's a cost of $197, and it's just like like this amazing database of case studies, kind of like Google for successful conversion marketing case studies. And it just breaks them down into like an easy to search format so that you can find what you want to find and you can get inspired and you can just like literally copy the success and the learnings of other people. So it's great for learning. It's great for, you know, just getting quick ideas that are just proven to convert. And these are credible case studies, because a lot of case studies online, you know, they're not so credible, but these have been statistically validated, and we selected them and put them into this pack, as we call it, for that reason. So I pre-sold that product, and but I was also custom developing software around it, you know, to make it easy to kind of search and find things. So I had to think about, okay, like what could I actually include with this version 1? So I said, okay, I'm not going to do the software just yet. You know, first I'm gonna deliver it kind of as like a searchable spreadsheet, and I'm gonna deliver, you know, the videos kind of in a separate file package that kind of walk through some of the top case studies and patterns that I've seen that work for conversions. So you kind of have to plan it out that way too. But now with a service, it's significantly different, because with a service, you don't have to build anything. You build something when you get the order. So if you're pre-selling a service, it's kind of like, you know, you're pre-selling towards a launch. Okay, so you're trying to like kind of like accumulate orders in a way towards like a launch date. So it's like you're kind of like a pre-launch or launch special, if you will. Because again, like when you're doing a service or a productized service, you know, there's no inventory that you have to build. In other words, not that info products are necessarily inventory, but you know, you have to build the product. So you kind of get what I'm saying, right? So step number 2, after you have, you know, decided, okay, you're going to go with selling a product or a service. And again, you know, that you might say, oh, obviously I want to go with an info product, or obviously I want to go with a service, or let alone a productized service, which you should read our article about as well if you're not familiar with what a productized service is. Great resource. But yeah, they're 2 completely different animals. So think strategically about it, because you know, it might be better one way or the other. Step 2, brainstorm a list of problems. Step number 2, brainstorm a list of problems your product or service can solve for your audience. And this one is really understated, but and really, I think, overlooked. So in terms of coming up with the idea, I guess, of what you're actually going to be selling, and let's say that you already have a clear idea, well, okay, like you need to understand it from your target market's point of view at all times. And that's kind of the benefit to pre-selling too, is that you start with the sale and you start with the need of the customer even, before you actually focus on the product and what to build. Because sometimes it's really easy and tempting even to just focus on, okay, like I'm gonna go build the product, I'm gonna go build the service, I'm gonna go hire the team, get everything in place, make it all perfect on paper, you know. But if you keep in mind the problem, just solve the problem, then it's gonna help you later on, not only just to sell on the landing page so that people can see, okay, you know, X, Y, and Z problem, identify with that, and then they're going to be hooked and want to learn more. But further, in terms of developing the productized service or the product, keeping that top of mind, because that's the first, you know, one of the first steps here that you're doing. You know, you're going to just build a more focused product ultimately, one that maybe has less features, that requires less work to get up and running. So that's step 2, brainstorm a list of problems your product or service can solve for your audience, because they're going to feature prominently on your sales page, and they should feature prominently in your mind as you go about architecting your service or building the actual product. Step number 3, be like a sponge, absorb all the information about your market by researching. So this one might sound kind of obvious, like, oh, like Matt, you're telling me to go do research, and I am. But what's not intuitive about it is that you really need to just focus on it for a substantial amount of time. I mean, I tell you, when I'm doing research on a specific topic, let alone actually a product that I'm getting ready to pre-sell, like the proven sales conversion pack, or like our sales funnel diagram pack, which we also pre-sold. you know, I'll just kind of get into the zone. I'll just go out and I will look at, I'll look at like what people are saying on different review websites. What are they saying about similar solutions that are out there? Competitors that have done something similar or different, or just in the industry in general, because you want to try to confirm and further validate, those pain points. And you're doing research for the purpose of just getting in your customer's head, understanding how they speak, because that's going to translate to better copywriting for the actual launch of the presale. Okay, so you just want to kind of just shut up and just do a lot of reading. Just use Google and go to Amazon, read reviews, read reviews on review sites, on Yelp. Depending on your market, there's different sites. G2 Crowd, if it's something SaaS related, for example. If you're looking on Amazon, specifically look at what people are saying under books. What are they saying about how a book has helped them or not helped them in some way. Okay. Finally, step number 4, go out and talk to your target market and build an audience. Actually build some sort of initial audience of interested people. And there are a variety of ways that in the full article that goes along with this video that I go into about how you can actually do this and playing the law of averages with that and what the exact steps are. But long story short on that is, in a lot of cases, you as an entrepreneur, you might have some sort of an existing audience, maybe because a lot of entrepreneurs I know have existing blogs, you have traffic coming in, you have some sort of a basic email list. And even if you don't have an email list, maybe you have a list of personal contacts, from your LinkedIn network that you can export from there. But even more than that, it's, if you're really starting from scratch and you don't have an email list and you don't, you kind of just figure out your product idea. Ideally, try to pick an idea that is something that you would be in the target market for, but also that you have people in your own network who can give you valuable feedback about the idea and about the different features and benefits that you plan to include as part of this offer. All right. And when you go out and talk to your target market, just go into the conversations thinking about it in terms of, you're just looking for feedback. You're just looking to learn. But be open to the idea of just saying, so, hey, John, I hear what you're saying. I really appreciate this feedback, especially X, Y, and Z in particular. I think that makes a lot of sense. But if this is solving a real problem for you, would you be willing to, I'm doing a pre-sale. I was planning on doing a pre-sale and I'll give you a special price for it. So would you be willing to give me, $100, whatever, towards, and I'm going to launch it on this date, and see what they say. Because that money talks, as they say, money talks more than feedback. Because you can get feedback, your mom, your grandma, your aunt, your uncle, whoever, they'll give you feedback all day long. A business friend, but whether or not they're willing to really pull out their credit card, to pull out their wallet and hand you money, write you a check, that's what really is going to talk in terms of telling you, okay, this is hitting on a real nerve. This is really hitting a nerve. This is solving a real pain point. Or if they're unwilling to do that, and don't just do it based on one person either. Don't get discouraged if one person tells you no. It's going to happen. But across, a variety of people, like 5 to 10, is some percentage willing to, significant percentage, like 20%, 30%, that you talk to one-on-one, that you build some rapport with? Are they willing to pull out their credit card or their checkbook or some cash and actually make a down payment? Okay. Because if yes, then you're really onto something. If no, then come back to that person or just ask them. Say, what, all right, well, I appreciate your feedback a lot. I'm gonna actually work to implement it. But when the product is ready, do you want me to come back to you and show it to you? And maybe you'd be interested in buying it at that point if you can kind of see it, touch it, feel it, whatever. And they might say, yeah, come back to me. And then if you do take their feedback, then that's that's obviously, uh, there's sort of a reciprocity bond that can happen there at that point, because they see that, oh, like this person is really investing in me and my problem, and there might be more trust and rapport built up at that point, where then they're willing to pay. So so there you have it. Those are the 4 steps to successfully pre-sale. All right. And if you want to learn more, there are other key steps that I didn't have time to include in this video for the sake of time and brevity. And I encourage you to go check out those other 2 steps in particular, and the article in full in general, because it is truly a complete guide that will give you more details and more concrete kind of step-by-step walkthrough of each of these steps and how to execute on them, as well as examples that you can learn from. And I do also share some more story anecdotes in the article itself. So check that out. The link, if you're watching this on YouTube, is in the description. And if you're watching this on AutoGrow, well, simply scroll down. All right. So, and speaking of AutoGrow, if you have digital marketing tasks or projects associated with pre-selling or anything else, and you want to delegate all of your digital marketing tasks without the headaches of hiring, then check us out at autogrow.co. Because AutoGrow, it's kind of like project management software with talent attached to it. I mean, I'm talking about anything that you can, any ideas you can think of in terms of design, development, copywriting, apps management. We have a full team. And so the way it works is you sign up. We have a special going on as of this video. We're for a limited time, so depending on when you're watching this, it might not exist anymore. But go to autogrow.co/pricing, and you'll see our $7 for 7-day trial there. You sign up, you log in, and you give us, your first project. Oftentimes, clients they like to start with a strategy consultation with one of our digital marketing strategists. So you meet with us. We'll learn all about your business. We'll make some recommendations about, maybe the types of projects that we can work on for you, types of tasks we can get done. We'll kind of give you more of an in-depth tour if you want of the software. It's pretty easy anyway. But the way it works, you log into the software, you type out some notes about what you want to get done, what ideas you want to make real, some examples, some notes. You click on the button that says make it real, and off we go. You sit back and watch as the progress bar goes from 0 to 100%, and we keep you posted in real time with updates in the integrated live chat feature that we just rolled out just the other week. And we tell you how it's going. All right, we communicate with you there. And we're pretty much always available during regular business hours, Eastern Standard Time. Okay? So basically, it's your ideas made real, and you get to watch it go from 0 to 100%. So check us out, autogrow.co. And if you're more the do-it-yourself type, you can also check out some of our online trainings and paid resources, which I mentioned at autogrow.co/marketplace. So until next time, keep converting and stay focused. I'll see you soon.